That was a short intro. Good evening and welcome. It is Thursday night, it's entertainment, and we are, of course, talking Survivor. And I had you on suspense about who we're going to have on tonight. And here we have the man himself, Felix. Good evening, welcome.
Hey, hi, how you doing? You well?
Well, and you?
Wow, good.
You're
Considering,
in Joburg, eh?
yeah, Pretoria specifically, but yeah, Gauteng, in Pretoria.
Gauteng. And how's the weather?
Quite odd actually. It's been a bit chilly, but then today was like super hot. So I don't know, and the rest of the week seems to be a bit coldish again. So yeah, kind of a whiplash with the weather, but all good.
All good. First of all, congratulations on making it as far as you did in Survivor. This is one tough season, and I think to come as far as you did, you really that deserves a pat on the shoulder. How are you feeling? Yeah.
Um, well, how am I feeling now? How am I feeling about the season? That's two different things.
Okay. Let's see. First, hear how you're feeling about the season, and then you can tell me how you're feeling right now.
Yeah. So yeah, but the season, I think it was amazing. It was a tough. It really was tough. I mean, they threw
Hmm.
literally everything at
Hmm.
us, and
Yes.
gave us nothing. Um, so so I think it wasn't too much of a surprise going in expecting actually for it to be a tough season, especially from everybody coming back to play a second time and knowing that they weren't going to make it easy for us. So. I think it was a really good season. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, my head was in the right space. So I think
Oh,
at
good.
the moment, I think I couldn't have done any better.
And how are you feeling about now afterwards when you look at the seasons again and what you've seen on TV, and how do you feel about the game that you played?
Yeah, look, pretty ecstatic about the game that I played. I one thing that goes through a lot of players' minds is post the game when they get voted out, they go through this if, should, would, could kind of
Yes,
thing. It finds
yes.
different scenarios. It's inevitable. You're always going to do that, but I try not to do that as much as possible. I try to accept because I mean you can't change it. Whatever's happened has happened. And again, the thing is, you make the decisions based on the information that you have at the time
Mm,
and
mm.
how you felt at
Phew.
the time. So you can't really dwell on it. But other than that, I think it was I think I played a pretty good game. Everything went according to plan. I mean, my wife and I worked out strategy back to front. Basically, she worked it out and said, "This is what I need to do." And I executed as well as I could. With everything happening on the ground. So I don't see. Yeah, maybe if I really think about it, if I think about maybe I should have worked a bit harder at the end there towards getting Kalani in, working with Marion a bit more.
Yes, yes.
I think maybe that's where I slipped up, and I think that's where Phil and Dino picked up. But yeah, look, hindsight's 2020, right? So I did what I
Yes.
had in the information that I had, and obviously I trusted my alliance to do the work that they needed to do. So it is what it is.
That must be the most difficult thing is that alliance and the trust that you put in your alliance, but still in the back of your head, like you were saying, you could feel something was different with Phil and you knew something was coming. But I mean, you still hope that you're wrong and you keep on trusting, but you're also thinking, oh, I shouldn't.
Yeah, look, it's such a tough thing because you know at the same time I need to show trust, and if I don't show trust
Yes.
and I play a different game, people don't want to play with you because if I don't trust them, they know they can't trust me. So,
Yeah.
how do you show that without creating or spooking anyone at the same time? Putting all your baskets in one chip. I don't know. It's so difficult to navigate. Everything is I keep saying is a largely a guessing game, calculated
Yeah.
guessing game, I guess. And you hope the relationships you build, that carry you that far. So it's a it's a massive
Phew.
gamble, but it's one that you have to take. But at least you need to have done a lot of the groundwork to make sure that people want to keep you, people want to
Yes.
play with you,
Yes.
people want to trust you, and that's what I did.
I think you definitely did that because you didn't get as far as you did in the game. And I think it was up till now, or up till the last episode that you were in episode 20, it was only then when it sort of started shaking. Or before that, it was still very good. And I think that proves the sort of the game that you played. So, yeah, well done on that.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. No, I think. Look, um, one of the things I did mention was my plan was always to play later in the game, and what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that is not to say that I wasn't playing earlier. I mean, for me to be in a
Mm,
position to have so many people that want to work with me means that I was actually
mm.
doing the work, legwork. You know, working behind the scenes,
Yes,
making
yes,
sure you build the
yes.
relationships, making sure you're likable, making sure that you are a confidant. People want to talk to you. People want to lean on you for advice, to cry, to chat,
Mm.
to have fun.
Yeah, yeah.
If they're feeling down, you're the person to pick them up. So I think all of those things. I mean, that was part of the strategy. My wife and I grinded out to the T to say, you got to be likable. You got to be the guy that people want to work with, but at the same time, you got to make your target as small as possible. So as far as
Possible.
possible, I try to do that up until after merge. And there was a point where I obviously started, not to say that I had to start playing, but I saw an opportunity and I realized, okay, here's
Yes, yes.
here's where I need to start doing something because I see something that someone else is not seeing, part of my alliance. And so yeah, the plan was to always play later in the game. When I say that, meaning actively making moves and
Yeah.
not necessarily doing them passively. So yeah, look, it's it's just one of those things. Yeah, when you stick your neck out, you gotta
Sure.
expect the pangas are gonna start coming in. So and that's what happens.
Yeah, once again, I must say, already it's a tough game, and making it as far as you did, and it's even worse for this season with all these you guys that have seen you before as a player, and they've all been there. They've been there, worn the buff. So, yo, no, that is a real tough one. We're going to take a short ad break, but before that, I'm going to leave you with this question. So, when we get back, I want to know, do you hold any grudges? That was a word from our sponsor, our interview sponsor, the Purple Windmill Stellenbosch Club Mitz Road, where you can go have some fun. We are talking Survivor SA Season 9, and with us tonight is Felix. And it's such a privilege for me to be talking to you, Felix. Thank you once again for your time.
Privilege is mine.
I left you with this question. Do you hold any grudges?
Yeah, it's always a tough thing. I think when you look at
I
the
know.
season you watch, and you remember you're watching at the same time as everybody, so you're seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
The thing as I keep saying is you only have one view and one lens that you're seeing the game through, and then when you watch the game, you see all these different things that were happening,
Yes.
and it's tough to not look back and look at thinking, yes, this bugger was lying to me this whole time, or this person
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
and people are plotting it. So it is. I keep saying it's a game, but the feelings are real. But no, I don't hold any grudges. I look,
Okay.
I number one, I always say that I understand it's a game. People have to do what they have to do. I mean,
Mm.
playing, having played at sport, at a high level, you got to compete. I mean, if I'm playing against you, my friend, I'm going to go full out and I expect no less from you. So
Yes, yes.
at the same time, but within the bounds of sportsmanship, within the bounds of the game and good competition. So no, I don't hold any grudges. I understand people had to do what they had to do.
Wonderful. Mm.
And people said what they said, knowing what they knew with the context that they had at the time. So you can't be bitter about it. All of us went in there with a solo game in mind. So yeah, all you got to do is learn from it.
That also brings me to my next two questions. As a jury member, what will influence your vote or not casting a vote? What will be the things that you're going to look at when you write down your vote? And now this vote, everybody wants to see their name on this one.
Ah, geez, such a tough one. I think um, there's there's so many facets to the game. There's so many things, and all of us as different players hold different things that we
Mm,
find important to the game. I mean, from player one to player 100, all of us will have a different view on what's important and
yeah,
what's pivotal in the game. So I think for me, it's gonna be it's gonna be someone who played the game with a level of integrity and honor, but at the same time, making sure they push the envelope and pushing themselves. Um, uh, I think I think yes, it's such a tough thing. I think it's gonna tell.
yeah,
Every time I sit there on the jury to be able to listen and see what's unfolding in front of me. But I think the biggest thing is who's the most switched on, who's not letting their
mm,
guard down, who's making
mm,
sure they're being strategic and smart, but at the same time using everything at their disposal to make it work for them, but at the same time
mm.
not necessarily get ugly, if you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
think the
yes.
game being clean, you don't have to be dirty about it.
And tell me now, watching the episodes, does it influence your final vote, or you going to stick to what you experienced while you were in the game?
That's a loaded question actually. No, you know what? I don't think it's gonna change my decision and what my
Okay,
criteria is. I think, look, I know
okay,
what I experienced in the game. There's so much that happens in the game that you can't show on
yes,
everything.
of
But
course,
don't get me wrong, everything that has happened is a reflection of everything that has happened. But it's just you
yes.
can't you
There
can't
is
put everything.
more. I know.
There's a lot more.
Yeah,
There's a lot more context. There's a lot more.
emotions and
Exactly. Exactly. So,
yeah,
I think for me, the only thing the show does now is just tie whatever I thought together
yes,
and actually confirm what I was thinking,
yes,
perhaps, or maybe debunk it entirely. So, but in general, I
yeah.
don't think that's
Interesting.
gonna
Mm.
influence my decision. No.
Okay, wonderful. Now you don't have to give us a name, but the next, obviously, all of us have a favorite, and my favorites are, every time somebody goes out, then I have to find a new favorite. But you still is your favorite still in the run? Is that person still part of the tribe?
Before I
Obviously,
answer,
before
yeah.
Felix, and seeing as Felix is out, so now Felix, so now you have to have a new favorite.
As long as I was your favorite, that's fine. Then I can give you an
Oh,
answer.
I was so sad to see you go. You no, really, as a personally, I love Steffi, but only because I've been following her for so long. But when it comes to players, I really admire the game that you've been playing. So yeah, Felix definitely one of my favorites.
Ah, shame, man. I appreciate it. No, look, yeah, it's a tough one because there's so much. It seems as though the numbers are dwindling very quickly, but there's still a lot of players
Yes.
and there's still a lot of game to play. So you know, um, I would say there's a couple of people up there.
Okay.
There's actually at the moment
There
there's
is.
I would say there's three leaning on three, maybe four
Oh wow.
castaways at the moment that I would say are my
Yeah.
favorites to run and win. But it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds because I mean, like,
Yes.
look, the games of foot, anything can happen, literally anything. So
L-
I think it's
no,
gonna get
we've seen that.
yeah, it's gonna get quite exciting. Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite interesting. But I still have
Yes.
about three players. I think
Oh, wonderful.
I have a good
Yeah.
chance of taking it and doing really well.
So, just like us, Felix will be watching to see who is going to outplay, and outlast to ultimately win the title as Ultimate Survivor. But, Felix, thank you so much for tonight. It was like really for me such a privilege and an honor to have you on the show and to talk to you. And hopefully, we'll maybe see each other in the finals. That would be wonderful.
You never know. Maybe I get pulled back
You,
into the game by some idol
yeah.
nullifier reverse kind of thing, and then I play again. So you never know.
Anything can happen. How does Nico
Exactly.
keep on saying it's not over till it's over?
Exactly. Always.
with that,
Always.
with that, Felix, we are going to let you go. But thank you once again very much for talking to us tonight. And yeah, see you soon. Bye
Pleasure.
bye.
Cheers. Bye.